Hi, this is Shaka Hislop, and you're looking at Extra Time TV with Andrew Suklal on Biz TV.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Extra Time TV. This is Andres Sokla, and we keep having these fire episodes one after the other. I've been all over the planet, but I'm not alone today. We have the one, the only, one of my favorites, Stephen Hart. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
Not bad at all. And to shamelessly name drop what I've been doing over the last couple of days, I recently returned from Inter Miami. They had the Noche D'or. It's like the oldest news ever that Lionel Messi, whether people like the Ballon d'Or or not, which we'll talk about briefly, he won his 8th Ballon d'Or and they had a celebration. And once again, I'll put it out there for the fans. Terry kind of spoiled it last time, but I'm going to let the fans comment in the comment section below what they think Noche D'or means below. And also don't forget to scan the QR codes that will be popping up throughout the entire episode, because when you do that, you get a chance to make comments, suggestions, and maybe get a copy of EAFC and the dubious honor of playing me, which I will destroy you, apparently. Hopefully not. So Stephen, Lionel Messi, what can we say about this guy? They had this wonderful ceremony. Before we get to the ceremony, could you let me know what you think about him winning the 8th Ballon d'Or? We've asked everybody, but I'd love to hear yours.
Well, I mean, it had its controversy, but at the end of the day, he won the World Cup, and I know people are going to say, well, it's just winning the World Cup enough, but the year, I think it was 2018 Ballon d'Or when Modric won it. Messi had a spectacular season, scoring 50-something goals and another, 20-something assists, and he finished 5th. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things. It's an award ceremony. It's, I don't really get into that too much.
Yes. We were actually joking about that in the last couple episodes with all our guests, because we all kind of roll our eyes about it sometimes. It's really a popularity contest, because people who play the game, and especially former players and coaches, generally it's kind of like a popularity contest. But the real question I want to ask is, Messi has gone to Inter Miami, and this particular award ceremony that they had for him, your thoughts on his impact on the football in the US and in general? Because going to the MLS is a big statement. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic for the league. He made a choice from his own admission, sort of more for the family than anything else, to choose to play in the United States. But it's been fantastic for the league. The publicity has been unbelievable, and I think even more so than in the Beckham era because of social media. So it's good for the league, and what remains to be seen is how he handles the league season. He had a good cup run, but how he handles the league season is going to be the real test.
Yes. And a quick question before we head to the commercial break. Folks, we don't just have Stephen Hart here for his looks, folks. This guy is a proper coach, and you are one of the rare people that we could say you coached against Lionel Messi with the Trinidad and Tobago national team. We were both down there. Obviously, you were coaching at the time. How do you prepare for something like that? It's just a random question some fans asked, and I said, you know what, I'm going to ask you. You're doing a tactical discussion without giving your secrets away. What do you say to players when you say, hey, how do you mark Messi?
Well, to be honest, if I had the answer to that, we might have done a bit better. But we did keep him off the scoreboard. The thing is, it's just more about doing the proper things as a team. Remaining compact, having good communication in defense, etc. And all we really try to do is to take away his operational space as much as possible.
Yes, and I felt like it was a question many coaches are probably trying to answer, and I put you on the spot there. But folks, before we head to the commercial break, I was at the Inter Miami ceremony. I got invited. It was brilliant. And we were granted exclusive footage that nobody else has, courtesy Inter Miami Communications, which I will play later on in the episode. We'll give you a full rundown of the actual ceremony, and then maybe we'll play the entire thing on an entire EXTV episode. So thank you to the folks of Inter Miami, Thomas Rongan, and all those guys. I had a wonderful time. So with that being said, we're going to head to our first commercial break. Look out for those QR codes. They're going to be popping up, and we'll be back.
There were a lot of challenging landscapes that we would go geographical areas in Trinidad and Tobago. It would have a toll on the body. I learned about the groundage muscle and its effectiveness in treating pain and so on. It did alleviate a little bit with the assistance of Omega XL.
It's over a year now I've been taking Omega XL.
After taking Omega XL, I can move.
I exercising without getting the setup pain.
My whole body was just stronger.
The XL brand delivers quality service.
Live long, stay strong.
Hey everyone, welcome back, and we have our special guest Stephen Hart joining us today. And before we start, I just want to remind you all the QR codes will be popping up from time to time on the show. Get your mobile devices out and scan that. Also, we have a lot of exclusive footage today from the Inter Miami Noche D'or ceremony. But before we get to all that, Stephen, there was a crazy game in this in the EPL this weekend. Chelsea took on Manchester City. That game ended 4-4. I probably needed an entire show just to talk about this. But before I get your response, we got some wonderful data from the kind folks of SofaScore, which we're going to pull up really quickly here with the possession and stats and so on, which is beautiful. Thank you, SofaScore. As you can see, the possession was pretty equal, 55, well, pretty close, 55%, 45%. Lots of shots, lots on target, lots of fouls, you can see it was a pretty crazy game, and I would not say it was a very tactical game. Let's take a quick look at the formations as well. As you can see, 4-2-3-1, Pochettino and his men versus Pep, 3-2-4-1. Pep has a lovely formation, which we'll probably talk about in another show. But with all that being said, Stephen, it's a crazy game. What are your thoughts on that crazy 4-4 result?
Well, it was a fantastic game for fans of the game, whether you're a fan of Chelsea or Manchester City. But if you're a fan of the game, the game had a lot of action, a lot of offense. I guess the coaches would say some of the defending was questionable. But, at the end of the day, the entertainment value of the game was spectacular. I thought Sterling had, Sterling and Palmer, they both had fantastic games. It was the best game I've seen Sterling play in a long time. And they managed to wrestle control of the game away from Man City, and that happens when you score early. So it was a great game.
Yes, and we'll talk about this as well. Before we speak about the key players, which we do have, Chelsea spent a lot of money on their team. Pochettino was a coach that had, a lot of success with Tottenham when he was in Spain with Espanyol. But this Chelsea team just can't seem to really get it right. What do you think is the reason for that?
Well, it takes time. And, it's a bunch of new players coming in, trying to fit them in together with a new coach. These things take time, and this game can only help them mentally to say, well, listen, we have the capacity to play with the best team in the country. We just need to build on the game.
Yep, and I'm going to make a quick parallel before I head to the key players. We always know the usual stereotype about, or cliche, or whatever you want to say, when teams spend a lot of money, that does not guarantee you trophies right away. Yet there's still that expectation to win trophies. and coaches are always under pressure. But when you spend that kind of money, and Pochettino has been in this situation twice at PSG and now at Chelsea. In situations like this, as someone who coaches at this, level, what do you think? How do you transmit that to the, the upper management, which is the American owners, and say, listen, we need some time. How does that even work?
Well, I mean, when they first bought the team, they said they were not going to be the usual chop and change type of ownership. So I guess, Pochettino would have had that discussion with them before he even took the job. I think it's a very different situation than the one at PSG, because PSG is, a kind of galacticos, this is what we give you, you have to make it work kind of thing. But I think this team is a little more balanced, and they surely would recognize that he needs a bit of time to get it right. But I haven't said that he was under pressure coming into that game.
Excellent. And of course, SofaScore has provided us with brilliant stats again. We have to talk about Haaland. So we're going to pull that up really quickly from SofaScore. He got an 8.5 rating, played in 90 minutes. 2 goals, 1 assist, shots on target. That's pretty efficient. 4 to 3, key passes 3. And as you can see, we have those lovely heat maps where you can see he focuses in and around the box. He pulls wide. And then before we get your comments on Haaland, we also have Jackson, who a lot of people were talking about. He had a really good performance, 7.0, and played 89 minutes. I'm not going to read out all the stats, but in terms of the individual performances, let's talk about Jackson. A lot of people are saying, he is a really up-and-coming talent that's very dangerous. What do you think about his performance?
Yeah, he's very mobile. I would say he probably is a little different than Haaland in the sense that he likes to play outside the box as well. But he is dynamic. He is very mobile, and I mean the way he kept himself active when shots were coming in, etc., was impressive. I haven't seen a lot of him to be honest, but in this game, I thought he was very effective.
Yes, and Haaland, what can we say about Haaland? This guy is a goal-scoring machine, and you can see from the stats there, he may not be running all over the pitch from the heat maps, but, he gets in the areas. I remember one of the criticisms people had is that Pep had to adjust his style, which he did really well because of his style of play, get some more balls in the air, and, his ability to do that. So, with that being said, let's take a quick look at the table now. Manchester City are on top, but Chelsea 16th. And SofaScore once again provided us with this wonderful information. Chelsea, Stephen, before we wrap up this particular segment, do you think this is the turnaround that Chelsea needs to, get their campaign going and really start showing where that money was spent?
Well, yes, obviously, because when you spend that kind of money, as you said, there's expectations. So yes, I do believe the offensive approach that they really took the game to City, which is impressive. And there are not a lot of teams that are going to withstand that. The difference is that a lot of the teams that they're going to face are going to defend in numbers, which City were not doing. To use a modern term, park the bus and play off the counter. So it's how Chelsea deals with that. It's going to be the big telling point.
All right, excellent, folks. So, folks, you can let us know what you think. Scan the QR code. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back.
My kids notice that I'm more active.
If we can reduce chronic inflammation, we can reduce pain and diseases. It means that we'll be living a longer, healthier life.
My wife actually have introduced it to her, and she uses it now. Yeah, she does see a difference using Omega XL.
You'll never know your full potential until you start pushing your limits. Intimidation is just a state of mind. Don't let fear get into the way. Just start and keep pushing. When it starts to get hard, don't give up, because you're closer to the finish line from where you started. When you feel like your goals are impossible, proper diet, exercise, and support from the XL brand can help you overcome these impossible obstacles. Believe in yourself, because when no one else is there, the XL brand is here.
Don't miss out on potential business. Start combining targeted outdoor advertising with social media marketing to maximize the impact on your target audience. Capture and engage your audience even more with interactive games and live streaming to create memorable experiences that make your brand unique. Step outside the box and into the street, taking advertising to the forefront.
All right, everyone, and we're back, and we're going to continue with the EPL. Some interesting interactions between Kieran Trippier, Newcastle lost the Bournemouth 2-1, sorry. But that's not really what we're going to talk about. Usually we talk about tactics and stats. But we have a quick clip that we managed to get on social media. It's been viral all over the planet, basically, where Trippier is reacting to some fans that were giving him some stick. So let's take a quick look at that. So yeah, so basically, if you didn't hear what he was saying, how many injuries have we got? I don't know if that's a good impersonation. Folks, you can rate my impersonation of Trippier, which is terrible. The 2 goals were scored by Dominic Solanke, forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Stephen, you've been in this arena before. You understand the pressure these players are under. Newcastle has spent a lot of money. Fans are very demanding and they want excellence. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I kind of support Trippier on this. They do have some injury issues in key positions, and most of all, I think most fans in football, real fans, they look at the team and they see the team giving everything. If the team is giving everything, they're usually forgiving. And I think that is what he was saying. He was saying, are we not giving everything? How many injuries we've got. I think he felt it was a bit unfair because they have been doing fairly well so far this year. So, the fans in England, look, it's not easy. So I kind of support him on this. I don't think Newcastle, it's for lack of passion from the players. They're doing their best.
Yes, and to me it shows a combination of 2 things. The passion of Trippier, because if I'm a fan and I saw one of my players come up to me, I wouldn't even take that as an insult. I would actually think, wow, okay, this guy really cares about this team. It's down to interpretation and so on. And what I love, he's a player I always liked from when he was at Atletico Madrid, Simeone and those guys. So he probably picked up some of those traits from Diego Simeone, where he's not afraid of anything. And I like that, besides being a quality player. And I'm going to bring back the comparison once again between, we used it with Chelsea, and now this is another case of this. This is another team that has come into a lot of money, and the expectations are now through the roof, and they're doing okay. But is this another situation of the fans expecting too much too quickly?
Well, Newcastle has not spent the kind of money Chelsea has spent. They're being a bit wiser with their investment. So, as I said, I think the fans have been a little bit unfair. They've hit a little bump in the road. It's early in the season. They started well. It's early in the season. I think it's just a bit of chicken little, the sky is falling, Because Newcastle are a team that, they like Baji. They have a tendency to boil down.
Yes. For Trinidadian fans, we love that expression, Trinbagonian fans. So our international viewers, which I thank you all for supporting our streams. It has been brilliant. That's our version of spinach. That's all. So we love it. But before we head to our commercial break, this is something that has happened with Newcastle before. We've seen it when Sam Allardyce was there. There was a video in the early stages of social media where the fans were having a go at him. And it's something that it's a part of the game, I guess. At this elite level, you can't escape it. The expectations are high. Things you can't really control, and I guess coping with it. And this is just part of why we love the game. There's different aspects, the beautiful goals, and these types of interactions. But before we head to our commercial break real quick, do you think how long do you think Newcastle will take? Because they are taking a different approach to the other teams. We'll have a couple seconds to do this. But how long do you think before this Newcastle team really kicks off and gets to where they need to be?
Well, I think they know what they need. It's just a matter of making the right buys and not spending money for spending money's sake.
Okay, excellent. So with that being said, we're going to head to our next commercial break where, as promised, we have some exclusive footage from Inter Miami and Thomas Rongan's new trailer for Next Goal Wins in 1 moment.
As a teacher, I do a lot of walking, standing. You have to really be on your toes all the time.
Omega XL has over 30 different fatty acids.
When I'm walking, I don't really have any pains, any problems like that. So I know that it is through using the Omega XL.
Welcome to Cuban Dental Care. With professionals trained for over 25 years, your smile is in trusted hands. From resin composite veneers to full upper acrylic dentures or even gold crowns, we master it all. Call us at 235-CUBA or 364-9629. Follow our journey on Facebook and Instagram at Cuban_dental_care. The Cuban Dentist, where your smile is our masterpiece.
All right, everyone, and we're back. And as promised, we are going to show you some exclusive footage courtesy the kind folks of Inter Miami Communications. They allowed me to go to this lovely event, which was beautiful. I got this lovely jersey. People could zoom in and do some screenshots and let me know what you think about this particular jersey. I had a lot of time. So with that being said, drum roll, we're going to play some exclusive footage of Lionel Messi and his speech accepting and celebrating the Ballon d'Or in front of Inter Miami fans. Let's take a look.
When we revealed your number 10, the world's greatest number 10, tonight I want to present to you the 8th Ballon d'Or winner, our captain, our number 10, Lionel Andrés Messi.
Bueno, buenas noches. Primero que nada, gracias por estar acá, gracias por este lindo homenaje. Para mí es algo muy hermoso poder compartirlo con ustedes. Llevo poquito tiempo acá, pero la verdad que parece que hace que llevo un montón. Quiero agradecer a toda la gente de Miami, no solo la que está hoy acá en el estadio, sino en la ciudad en general, por el trato que recibí todo este mes, tanto yo como mi familia. Me demostraron muchísimo cariño, me hicieron sentir en casa. Es una ciudad de mucho latino, la cual me encuentro muy cómodo y nos manejamos muy bien, así que muchísimas gracias. Bueno, como dije recién, llevamos poquito tiempo juntos, pero ya conseguimos algo muy importante, como fue el primer título para este club, para nuestro club. Algo muy importante porque lo vinimos a buscar, porque lo necesitábamos el club, nosotros los jugadores, después de cómo veníamos. Es algo muy importante para lo que se viene el año que viene, porque nos da la posibilidad de jugar un torneo importante. Y como dije al principio, no tenía duda que le íbamos a pasar bien, que íbamos a disfrutar. Y hoy en día no tengo duda, ni como lo tenía al principio, ahora mucho menos, que el año que viene va a ser mucho mejor. Vamos a seguir disfrutando, vamos a seguir ganando títulos. Y ojalá ustedes acompañen como acompañaron todos estos meses que me tocó estar acá, porque la verdad que necesitamos el apoyo de ustedes. Fue algo grandioso tenerlo cerca. Como dije antes, el año que viene tenemos cosas importantes y lo tenemos que hacer juntos. Muchísimas gracias. Buenas noches.
So folks, that was just a small clip. We have the entire thing. I wish I was there. Oh, wait a minute. I was. So, you know, with that being said, Stephen, we know Messi's a great player. We know his impact on the U.S. men's national team and the Argentinian men's national team and also the U.S. football in general. But this is quite a ceremony, and it's quite special for a player that has really impacted a generation and may impact. It's very difficult to see a player that may have that sort of impact. But what are your thoughts on the kind of lengths that Inter Miami went to have this sort of ceremony?
Listen, if it's one country knows about marketing, it's the United States, right? And their MLS and Inter Miami are looking at Messi as the goose that laid the golden egg, and they have to make the best of this. A lot of money has been dished out, and they are going to do everything possible to make sure that, you know, this legacy, this drives not only the MLS forward, but Inter Miami forward.
Excellent. So, folks, we have more footage available and images courtesy the kind folks of Inter Miami. They've been brilliant. They treated me really well. I had a great experience. I was asked to do a bit of a vlog video. I'm going to see if I can work on that and squeeze it into the next episode. And with that being said, make sure to look out for the QR codes as well. And we may show the full version of this in the next episode. So we're going to do that. And also, we have another clip which will come up after the commercial break with a clip from Thomas Rongan's movie, Next Goal Wins.
Introducing Dr. Sanjay Gupta, a seasoned consultant cardiologist from York Teaching Hospital with 28 years of experience. Renowned for his expertise in cardiac imaging, with Dr. Gupta, heart health is at the heart of the conversation. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. He is on a mission to demystify cardiology. Dive deep and take control of your heart health. Only on Biz TV.
Don't miss out on potential business. Start combining targeted outdoor advertising with social media marketing to maximize the impact on your target audience. Capture and engage your audience even more with interactive games and live streaming to create memorable experiences that make your brand unique. Step outside the box and into the street, taking advertising to the forefront.
Hey everyone, and we're back, and as promised, we have a load of content today, lots of videos. It's crazy. I know with each episode there's something new, but we have a new trailer for Thomas Rongan's movie, Next Goal Wins. Stephen Hart, before we get into it, you know, what are your thoughts on this movie before we show the trailer to everyone? It's coming out.
I remember when we went there, and Thomas is an eccentric coach, so this should be really enjoyable to see.
Yes. So Stephen and I, we also took a look at this trailer with Terry Fennick, so we're going to take a quick look at this trailer right now. Folks, let's take a look.
Next Goal Wins is a true story about the worst soccer team in the world, American Samoa.
I can honestly say it's the worst bunch of players I've ever come across.
All I want is just one goal. One goal.
I went into this not knowing anything about soccer, and by the end of the film, I knew less. It's a story about triumph over adversity. That's really the thing that attracted me to this.
Soccer's not in their DNA. They're weak. They are not weak.
Jump! Jump!
Stop. You go around.
This is the ultimate feel-good underdog film. It's fun, it's uplifting, and it's about hope.
We've worked too long and hard for this.
Are you with me, my team?
Coach, my ankle is hurting.
So with that being said, that was a brilliant thriller. You know, Stephen and I are tearing up right now. He's hiding it on the camera, but that's what's going on. So Stephen, it's been an absolute pleasure. This movie's coming out November 30th. We're gonna have a premiere in Trinidad. Thomas said he's gonna come down and look at it with us. So we have a lot of exciting content. It's so difficult to squeeze it into 30 minutes. Stephen, it's always a pleasure to have you on. And folks, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you all with us every week with the streams and the likes and the comments. So see you in the next episode.